Down in the place to be. Forget your cares in the door, most definitely.
What goes on, guys? Today, we're going to be taking a look at the first time I've ever taken a look at figures from the series. We're going to be taking a look at the brand new Bandai Namco Bandai High Definition Ultimate Legends anime series Demon Slayer figures of Zenitsu, Tanjiro, and Inosuke. These are awesome. Now, I debated whether or not I was going to get these or the McFarlane ones, and my boy Boondocks, he was posting pictures saying that these look they look about the same in terms of like design, but that these pose a lot better. And honestly, I don't want like big McFarlane figures for teenage kids. These work pretty good for me. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging on these guys, because it is kind of gorgeous on them. Starting off with the weakest and most simpiest of the three boys, we got Zenitsu. He's definitely not my favorite character in the anime. In fact, I actually strongly dislike Zenitsu, but honestly, you know, he's kind of a G and when he's asleep, but I think that's, I don't know, he just doesn't appease to me in that regard. But I think the packaging is really nice. There's the barcode if you're looking for it. I found these at Target. I really like the gold trim, and I like that each one of them has their respective colors, Zenitsu being yellow, Tanjiro being green. I really like the, you know, water type. There's like art in the box in there. When I open it, I might take a look at that and show you guys. But I like the way that he looks on the back. You know, there's not really like a read up for him. If you're looking for him in stores, there is his barcode. I feel like Tanjiro is going to be the hardest one to find. You know, he's Tanjiro. He's gonna, you know, he's the main character. Deku, just in a different shape. But I like that for his side of his box. They did the checkered pattern, where I was on the side of Zenitsu's box. They did the triangles. And then for the best out of the three boys, Inosuke, yeah, he's got like the beast breathing. I really, really like that. I like that he's blue. And then obviously he comes with two swords that he like hacks on the rocks, of course. But yeah, no, I think he looks pretty good. I really like the boxes for them. Again, here is the barcode for Inosuke. He's definitely my favorite out of the three boys, but without further ado, I'm extremely excited to get these open. I have wanted Demon Slayer figures in my collection forever, and those Figma ones are awesome, but they're so fucking expensive for no reason. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop these guys open. So, getting the boys out of the package, I gotta say, there's a lot to like about these figures. They are not perfect. And I do think that I would like them more than the McFarlane ones, but, you know, they still have their issues. But I honestly really found myself enjoying these. I hope that this line continues and we get, like, Nezuko, Tanjiro, or not Tanjiro, Tenga. I really like Tenga, but Tenga would have to be bigger. So, I don't know. We'll see. I might mix and match between the lines, like if McFarlane does the bigger characters, whereas, you know, I'll stick with the smaller, more articulated characters for the Bandai line. I don't know. We'll see. But honestly, I'd be fine if they give us Nezuko and we didn't get anybody else. Like, sure, Rengoku would be cool. I'm not good with the names, but I would be down for other people. It just matters if they're in scale or not. But we'll talk about scale on towards the end of the video. But yeah, I really, really like these. I don't really have a distinct favorite or least favorite, because things that I like about these two I don't like about him, but things that I like about him I don't like about these two. So it's kind of a toss-up on which one I like most. So I'm going to do, instead of favorite figure, I'm going to go by character. So starting off with by far my least favorite character, Zenitsu. He was so bad in the first season that, like, for me anyway, that I almost stopped watching the show. He's just very aggravating, and everybody's always like, oh, but when he's asleep, he's so cool. Yeah, I get that when he's cool, he's asleep, but, or when he's asleep, he's cool, but, like, he's not asleep enough to justify how freaking annoying he is otherwise. But he's coming around, I think, and I think in the next season he's gonna have like his upcoming. But yeah, no, he annoyed the shit out of me. But this figure is really good. The head sculpt is pretty damn awesome. Obviously, it's got his bitch boy face on there. Looking all sad and scared. I love the darker yellow at the bottom of his hair. And I really love the paint on these guys. That ombre, like, paint fading from yellow to orange is really, really nice. And every single triangle on there is super cleanly applied. I like these little lines that they put at the sleeves of the kimono. Looks very nice. The kimonos on these turned out very good. I think Tanjiro, he doesn't have like the paint fade that Zenitsu has, but he has another element that I really like. And then the body is going to be like their school uniform or their training outfits. I don't really know what they would be called. And then there's a nice little paint fade on the shins too, which is really, really cool. I love the sculpt of the baggy pants. I like that there's like a little bit of brown in the sleeves and then the undersleeve as well. His sword looks nice. It does look good. Got the white with the tassels on the end there, and then the nice silver on there. Nice paint applied for the buttons and the little collar piece and all that. And then you do have the sheath for the sword. I think it's called something different if it's on your hip. If you guys know, let me know, because I don't really know. And then he does have his feet with the white like straps on there, and the triangles are cleanly applied on the feet too, so, or on the shins. Yeah, he looks really, really nice. I really like the colors on him, and I really like the paint fading. It turned out really, really cool in that regard. In terms of accessories, he comes with a hilt that you can attach to here. So if you don't want his sword in his hand, I don't know why they didn't just do this sword fit in the sheath. I kind of would have liked that better. So if you're doing stop motion or something, you can have him like pulling it out. But that's cool. So imagine this isn't here. And he's just, he's got his sword in there. And then he does just come with a pair of fist hands. They both look exactly the same, but he does come with a pair of fist hands. So you pull them out there and then pop it in there. And I think that that's a really good effect. So definitely going to have him like this. He looks really cool. He's definitely a one-armed wielder kind of thing. So I really, really like the way that he looks. But he is severely lacking an accessory. The only thing that makes him cool is his sleeping. And he doesn't come with a sleeping head. I think an interchangeable sleeping head or faceplate would have been fantastic and really made this figure go above and beyond. Because when I was posing him, I mean, you can kind of like make it look like his eyes are closed when you're like, like when he's like, what is it, lightning breathing? When he's like, thunder breathing or whatever it is. Oops. But, yeah, no, his powers are cool. I just feel like you can't display them with that because, one, he doesn't come with any electricity effects. But I might get the McFarlane for that. We'll see. We'll see. But he needs a sleeping head. How does he not have a sleeping head? That's kind of sucky. So, in terms of articulation, the head is on a ball peg at the neck. And, again, it pops off very easy. It would have been super simple to bring in an alternate head. So, the head, I really like the movement on it. Looks up as far as you can with that kind of hair, down, pivot side to side, rotate. The shoulders, I don't really like the way that they did the upper arms, to be honest with you. The shoulders only go up about that much, and they're loose because they're on like this weird butterfly hinge joint that goes forward. So they only go up about that much. They go down. He can punch forward, crossbody a little bit, but like not enough to justify it. Plus, they pop out, especially on Inosuke, like all the time. It'll rotate. You get an ugly bicep swivel, which again, just put this rotates. Like if I hold this together, the bicep swivel's not moving, and that still gets the same movement. I kind of just wish they didn't put this in there. Plus, because like that happens a lot. It's just a lot of pieces that pop out on these guys. And then the wrist swivel and the hinge. No vertical hinge on the sword-wielding hands, which also sucks. Then you get a ball peg at the top and then a ball peg at the bottom. Again, a pretty decent movement, but not great in terms of staying together. This pops out a lot. And then rotates at the top and a little bit at the bottom. One thing that I do like is that this moves a little bit, and the bottom of the kimono is on like these pegs that attaches to the belt. So it doesn't hold great, but you can get it to stay. So that's cool. So when you're posing, it gets out of the way, and it doesn't look abnormally ugly. I think that was a really smart choice, like I said, because it's got like that little peg. So I'm not going to pull mine off, but you can see that there. The hips, he does do the full splits. They go down all the way too, especially for the baggy pants. I'm pretty lenient about that. He can kick very far forward and back as far as that'll let it. Upper thigh swivel, the single jointed knee, which really does not get a lot. I kind of wish they had a little bit more of a cutout. I might do that. just to see if I can get a little bit more, just kind of bring a Dremel in and cut along the top just to see if you could get a little bit more. Shin rotation, none, but you do get one at the ankle, and then the ankle pivots and hinges, and it's a nice tight joint. I actually really like this joint. It's not abnormally ugly. You get great movement. So yeah, I'm not going to go over Tanjiro's articulation just because it is exactly the same as Zenitsu's. I'll just show his head. But yeah, looks and moves pretty decent, especially for the price point. Speaking of Tanjiro, here he is in the flesh, or plastic, I guess. And again, he is pretty much the same thing as Zenitsu. They share the same exact sculpt, I believe. Yeah, they share the same exact sculpt. I don't know what happened there. I'm going to have to get some paint remover on that because I think this is molded in the blue color with the black and gray on the inside painted on, which that's nice that they painted the inside gray. Like I said, the body is all the same. The sheath is the same, I believe. Yeah, the sheath is... Is the sheath the same? Yeah, the sheath is definitely the same. Just different colors, so it'll move and then the kimono moves. He does have his specific sword. And it would have been really cool to get like a water spiral thing for when he does water breathing, fire breathing. That dude's so cool. Sun breathing. I don't know, some kind of like. I thought about using. I don't know if I have it with me. Let me check something. So if you have the Doctor Strange effect from Multiverse of Madness, you can, if you angle your photos right, it could look kind of sick, like having him like, you know, so I like that. I didn't think about this when I was taking pictures until just now, but I mean, it could work. Even if you want to grab another one, paint it blue, you know, make it look like ocean, that could be cool too, like the water breathing. But taking a look at his head sculpt, I really do like it. I love that they painted the little earrings on him. That looks awesome. His birthmark looks good. And while he doesn't have the ombre on here, he does have it in his hair, and it's a really nice effect. So the maroon to dark brown, black looks very, very good. The faces are very cleanly applied and look super accurate. So definitely awesome in that regard. Accessories, pretty much the same thing as Zenitsu. So you'll get the hilt that can plug into this, like so. I said like so, right there. And then you just get a pair of fist hands with, oops, not a fist hand, with the sleeves attached to them. And again, not going to go over articulation. Pretty much exactly the same thing as Zenitsu. But the star of the show is definitely Inosuke. He's always my favorite. He's always been my favorite character. And I love the way he looks and he moves, and he's so cool. So he definitely lacks in the paint department, to be honest with you guys. I mean, because Zenitsu has really good paint, and I think it would have been really cool if they did like a wash on the boar head or on the cloak. And I didn't look it up, but is this supposed to be the same color as this? Like, are these supposed to be black fur, or should it be brown? I meant to look that up before doing the review. I don't know. That bothers me a little bit, but if it's accurate, it's accurate. I don't know. I don't remember. But obviously, other than from here to the hips, that's all the same, but then shins to the feet and then above the waist, all new sculpt. Even the hands are new because he doesn't have the sleeves, so his interchangeable hands, which are the only accessories he comes with other than the swords, of course, which you can see here, don't have the sleeves on them. So but I really, really like the boar head. It looks awesome. I can just hear his laugh. I'm not even going to try to do it, but I love the sculpt on it. I love the little pink tips on there. Like, there is some paint on here. It's not like it's void of paint, but definitely not enough compared to the other ones. You get his little arms, and then his body is shown, obviously, and I like the sculpt on it. I do a lot. And then you get the bright blue metallic swords. I love the hatch marks in them, like when he's like tsh, 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 after the dude spent forever making it. I thought that part was funny. And then, like I said, he does have his skirt, which does impede articulation. I'm a little upset about that. We'll talk about that in a minute, but because it's really thick. But the sculpt is good. And then, like you said, you get his shins with the fur, and then the fur on the feet, and then the skin tone on the toes doesn't really match the body, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. This is my biggest thing with this figure. I hate these shoulder joints. I don't think they're particularly appealing, And God, does it not plug in, man. You use it like at all and that thing falls out. So it's very aggravating. As far as the rest of the articulation goes, the head, for what the design is, it goes up, down, pivot side to side, and rotate. I think that that's perfectly acceptable. Shoulders go up that far, down. They do rotate all around. And then he does have like the butterfly thing. But again, this side just does not want to stay in. Kind of sucks. The bicep swivel on him does look a lot better, and while I don't think it's necessarily needed, it looks good on him. Single jointed elbow, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. Again, no vertical hinge. Ooh, man, that is really freaking annoying me. Might put a little dab of glue in there and then move it around. He arcs back very far. He'll arc forward also pretty good. Rotate at the top. Oh, not so much at the waist, but the hips only go outwards. The hips only go outwards about that far. They do not go forward very far. Whoa. Which that kind of sucks. I might try to do like a little cut in there, see if I can get it to move forward, because the other ones, they go forward all the way. Single jointed knee, again, I'm going to test it on Zenitsu, because he's the suckiest one. Thigh swivel, single jointed knee, and then the wrists rotate, go down, up, and pivot. So, yeah. He looks good, and I think he's definitely upper torso he moves better, but then lower torso he has a little bit more restricted due to his little skirt thing. And I think the biggest point of contingency and where these guys can definitely take the dub over McFarlane is scaling. Now, McFarlane tends to just make all their characters that they make huge and relatively around the same size unless they're like a mega fig, and that doesn't really work for these, and that was going to be my biggest problem with that line. So I'm happy to report that these are pretty much in scale with what I'd want. So here's a NECA Kong, and then the Jazzers Fortnite Series Peely. This is a 6-inch figure, and but it's a banana, so he's a little bit taller than most people. Taking a look at the 7-inch Dark Knight Returns Batman. They're not ideal size, but they could definitely work if you need to. Again, you have to remember they're kids. They're young adults, I guess, at this point, but where I really think they work is 6-inch scale, and that to me is perfect. I like that they're shorter. And again, if this is all they make, I'd be fine with that. I would love if they made Nezuko and she came with the box to put on Tanjiro's back. That'd be great. And then here they are with Zombie Cap, of course. So, yeah, no, I think that they scale good. I like this personally. I like them to be shorter. I think that it matches better, again, because they are kids. I just hope... So the only other figure that I have from this line is the Jiren figure from Dragon Ball, and I know Jiren's supposed to be like a huge figure or a huge character. I only have this figure because I got it for like $5 at like a super discount, like a deep discount store, like a liquidation store or whatever, and it's just a fun ass figure. I just play around with him all the time, but that's definitely not to scale. So I might get some of the McFarlane ones, and if Bandai makes Nezuko, I'll get Nezuko from them. So we'll see, but I would rather have like the 7-inch. I always forget the villain's name, the Michael Jackson looking guy. If he's about this tall, I'm okay with that. The Demon King. But yeah, no. So based off of this and the Dragon Ball figures that I see, they're not going to be in scale, but there are other options, so whatever. So some of you are out there wondering, yo, Am, what are you thinking of these figures? My final thoughts, I would say I really, really like them. The pulling apart thing is really annoying. I hate when that happens, when you're trying to pose a figure and it just doesn't stay together. Even when you're doing like the most basic things, that always aggravates the hell out of me. So not a fan of that. But other than that, I think the paint is pretty good. Really good on some of them, and then okay on the other ones. And then the sculpt is pretty good. Of course, Inosuke's cut in the back of the board. And the articulation, when it doesn't pop out on me, is good enough. Again, I will maybe try to chisel out or Dremel out a little bit of the back of the knee on one of them, see if it works, and do it on the rest of them, just because they all have the same knees. But yeah, I'm going to give them all a rating, like the same rating, because I feel like what he makes up for lacking in them, they make up for lacking in him in terms of like sculpt and articulation and shit. So I don't know. For me, I'm going to go again at a price point of $16.99. So these aren't even $20 after tax. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and I'll give them an 8. The popping apart really does annoy the hell out of me, but I'm so happy to have Demon Slayer figures in my collection. I love anime. It's been a while since I've done an anime video. They just don't make a lot of anime figures that I want. I definitely will be getting the SH Figure Arts Chainsaw Man, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. But other than that, I believe that's all I got for today. So if you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe as I hit the camera. Let me know which is your favorite out of the three boys and why. Is it because of the style of breathing they use, or the technique, or design? For me, it's Inosuke all the way. He's fucking hilarious, and I like the two-sword. I don't know. I just like his design. Inosuke's great. But other than that, that's all I got for today. So as always, let me know. You cop him? See you guys in the next one. Peace.